Welcome, everyone. My name is Shawn Jones, and I'm the CEO of the iNetrapreneur Network. And today I have with me a longtime friend. She is an individual who is dynamic. She helps others overcome their grief, increase their self-confidence. She is the owner and founder of Heart Joy. Her name is Kimberly Humphreys, and she is here with us today to share herself and her business with all of us. Kimberly, welcome.
Thank you so much. I am honored to be here and excited.
So, Kimberly, I've known you for a number of years, but our audience doesn't. And what I always love to do is really get to know, starting off, the person behind the business. So would you share with us a little bit about who Kimberly is and how you came to be?
Wow. Well, the first thing that came to my mind when you said that, asked the question, was I'm holistic. That's who I am. From a child, if I had a headache, I didn't want to take an aspirin. I wanted to know what was causing the headache. I irritated my parents and the doctors. I felt like I don't want to put a Band-Aid on a gushing wound. I want to know how to make it so that it's going to heal itself. I just was always thinking holistic. When I was about 8, my mother was upset with me. She sent me out to the car, a kind of punishment, sit out there and wait for everybody else. And I thought to myself, I was upset. And I said, what is the purpose of life? And I had this whole monologue about, how did we come into being? And I'm looking around the neighborhood. I just thought there had to be some greater entity that created us. And surely they had a purpose. And it was like my life journey to find out what that was so that everything could fit into that context. So that's a little bit about me. So that gives you a little bit.
Yes, absolutely. So you've had quite the career, but you came up with Heart Joy. What is Heart Joy?
When it came time to decide, what do I want to do? What will I stand for? What will I work for? What will I die for? What came to me was love. Love is the key, I believe, to life. I believe we came from love. We're here to grow in love, and love. The perfection of love is what we are created for. And so when looking for a name for my company, I wanted it to represent that. There are so many out there that's love, but heart is where I'm coming from. And joy is what I want people to experience. Mm-hmm. Those are byproducts of love.
They really are. And there truly is a difference between having heart and having love. One, I feel when you say heart, it's more genuine. Love comes and goes. You can love something today, not like it tomorrow, right? Or your viewpoint of that love changes.
Oh, yeah.
But with heart is forever. To me, it's like your core. So you created Heart Joy, and you focus helping others through grief. Share with us, why grief? I mean, out of all the areas of Heart Joy and helping, why did you choose to focus on helping others through grief?
I guess another part of me is that I want to help people at their greatest point of need. And grief is one of the most difficult areas, if not the most difficult area for people to deal with, because it is just very painful. We have people in our lives and we are attached to them. And when they are ripped away, that leaves a pain. And for some people, it never goes away. For many, it never goes away. And it affects so many. And my desire is to make a difference in this world to, at the point of suffering, to transform that suffering into love, because it can be done.
Absolutely. When someone is grieving, it's traumatic. There is trauma. Some of that trauma can go away in a short period. For some, that trauma never leaves them. It's like imprinted in their being at that very moment, and it's hard for them to overcome. When you work with your clients, helping them through the grieving process, is it more like a support group where everyone gets together and talk, or do you provide more one-on-one and individualized services to help them?
I do provide it one-on-one. That's primarily how I serve clients. And because everyone's grief is unique, it's different. While there are some things that we can do in a group setting, the real work happens one-on-one, because that their relationship with the person that they're grieving, or the persons that they're grieving, is unique. It's different, and it needs to be addressed in that context.
Mm-hmm. Can you give us an example of when somebody comes to you for the first time, and maybe they've lost their child, because you and I both know somebody mutually who lost a grown adult child, and that's, very painful. When somebody comes to you for the first time, how do you decide if you're a good fit for them and they're a good fit for what you offer, and how you go about with your process? What does this look like?
First of all, if they come to me, usually they know something about me, and I am a root cause person. I'm going to go to the root cause. Now, if they're not comfortable with that, and are they, just don't feel ready for that, then maybe I'm not the person for them at this time. Mm-hmm. And when a person is ready to heal, and they're really tired of hurting, and they're open to possibilities, mm-hmm. Even if they don't want to let go of the person, or they think that, they're honoring the person by holding on to that grief, that's okay. We can work through that. But if they're just not even ready to open up, or grow, or heal, or anything, then they're probably just not ready for me. There's someone out there that can help them, I'm sure. If they're willing, I'm willing. We can try.
Absolutely. So when somebody is grieving, is there like a system? Is there like a checkoff list? Okay, here's where you're at. Do this and this and this step, and everything's going to be fine? Or what does this look like? That's a common question. What do you expect?
I may operate that way, but I don't. I have a whole different, like I said, it's holistic. Mm-hmm. And I meet them where they are, and they could be actually in multiple places. They may not be in one single place. And so, and I have lots of resources, lots of tools, lots of ways of reaching each of those areas where they are. And so, and it's a process. There are layers of things, and we work through those layers.
So it's not a one size. So it's not a one size fits all.
Definitely not a one size fit all.
And that's important. So you work with clients on a one-on-one basis. Do you do this over like the internet? Do you offer in-person sessions? Do you meet like once a week, once a month? What does this look like? And I know that you customize everything based on your clients, but if you were to look at like the average client, what would this look like?
Well, most people, we work on a weekly basis.
Okay.
And I prefer that because the week gives them just enough time to process the previous session and not too much time to forget what we're doing here. You know? There are some people who want to do every 2 weeks or once a month for what, you know, different reasons, and I will still help them. But the most successful, you know, the people who have the most success and are really happy are the ones who come every week for a certain period of time, and we work in that way. You asked me something else. There was some other component of your question that
you're doing great.
Okay.
So when, you know, there are grief support networks out there, there's grief therapists or counselors. You are a grief coach, correct?
Actually, I'm an emotional health coach. And
Okay.
so emotional health covers more than just grief. It covers any type of emotional pain, challenge, stress, life challenges. It covers all of those things. Grief is, well, I recently had a grief, transforming grief workshop, and I will reach out to someone if I just, you know, they're grieving. And so, yes, I do grief one-on-one. All of my coaching is one-on-one.
Okay.
Because I just feel that that's the best way to get to the root cause, because everybody's root cause is different.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And when you are, you know, we talk about the different areas that you help provide, like you said, the emotional support. Through that, you help people look at new perspectives, correct?
Yes.
And you help them overcome those hurdles. I call them hurdles because they can be, especially when you're dealing with emotions. To me, emotions are not tangible. They're the intangible. And people can't see those emotions necessarily because we hide them. We'll mask them by, you know, the pretty makeup or, you know, eating the ice cream. We hide our emotions behind the food. So you work with clients in a variety of ways through that emotional support. What are some other areas that clients come to you to help them overcome?
Well, I wanted to say this from the last question as well as this one. What I actually do, and the reason why I love the one-on-one, is because I create a safe space for them to open up. And I could do this in a group setting and have, but I prefer the one-to-one because, like I said, we can get the most work done. An example, I had a woman come to me and she was stressed, but she had a reason to be stressed. Every single one of her relationships were strained with parents, with children, her child, boss, coworkers, best friends, pastor, you name it, abusive partner, and an illness as well. That's actually why she came to me, to get coaching for the illness part. When after 4 weeks of working with me, talk about mindset, mind shifting, she said, "Oh my goodness, I have made more progress with you in these 4 weeks than I have in 16 years of therapy, Al-Anon, church, all of these things that I've been trying to use to heal myself or to be healed. 4 weeks with you, wow." And after 2 years, and we weren't meeting every week. We would meet whenever, you know, it was once a month and every other week, something like that. I had the honor of attending the wedding with a wonderful man. All of those relationships, every single one of them, coworkers, boss, parents, grandparents, cousins, best friends, singing her praises, just and genuinely, you know, they weren't just saying that. It was genuine, and the relationships, they were all healed.
Hmm. That is beautiful. So just to circle back, because I know we're coming up on time, you help individuals with you provide the emotional coaching. We've touched on the grief. You mentioned the woman who needed help getting through her illness and a couple of other things. What are some other areas under the emotional coaching that people come to you for?
Anger, just job stress, relationship conflicts. I had one couple were at the brink of divorce. I mean, the wife wanted out, and the husband, I ended up coaching with the husband, and he is my favorite. He's just, he's like, wow, I was resistant because I wasn't familiar with the things that you were doing and the things that you were telling me, but now I see the light. and it made all the difference in my life, in his, that's what he said to me, that it made all the difference in his life and his relationship, and the marriage is still there and getting better and better and better all the time.
I love success stories. Kimberly, if somebody would like to talk to you more about your emotional coaching, being that you're the owner of Heart Joy, how can they get in contact with you?
They can call 602-688-2632, or they can go to heartjoytoday.com.
That is heartjoytoday.com.
Yeah.
Kimberly, I want to thank you so much for being here today, sharing yourself and how you're helping others with everyone in the world. I want to say you are truly making a difference with what you are offering. So thank you again.
Thank you for having me here. And if I have just 10 seconds, I want to check out my YouTube channel, which is the same name, Heart Joy. And there are podcasts, and I'm interviewing other professionals who are in the emotional healing realm or helping people with their mental and emotional health. And so I'm really excited that the universe has brought up an army of people to help in this crisis that we are in right now.
Truly. Well, Kimberly, thank you again for being here. For those of you who have just watched, we had Kimberly Humphreys. She is the owner of Heart Joy. She is an emotional coach. She is also one of our speakers at the upcoming July 28th, 2022 Unchain Yourself Professional Women's Conference that will be held live and in person right here in Gilbert, Arizona. For more information, you can find it at ntevents.net. That's ntevents.net. Just go over to July 28th. You'll find the event starting at 9 a.m. Click on the link for more information.